Now, one of the things that bankers don't like about public blockchain is the public part, right? Because essentially everything is visible, everything can be seen, anybody can use it, and for various reasons, this is something that they don't feel comfortable with. It could be that the customer's data is public, but also because that's really a very competitive environment where anybody can access their customer, so not good for them. So a solution for that could be you have a private blockchain where you have a set of known entities that participate in this network. And there's many developments in this area, but there's some key questions that arise, right? So for any blockchain, for any joint resource, or for any distributed network, you have to ask questions of who gets to update, can the past be altered, and is there a higher body that can prevent transactions? So in public blockchains, the answer is as follows, right? So there's the consensus protocol, which usually is proof of work, but maybe other protocols that exist. Can the past be altered? Well, the whole point about public blockchain is no, it cannot be altered. It's immutable, which in the banking world can be a good or a bad thing, right? If there's a fraudulent activity, you want to be able to reverse it. That's something which you cannot do in a public blockchain. And why is that? Well, because there is no higher body that can prevent or force a retroactive change of the chain. It's not possible. This is the way it's set up, for better or worse, right? So now you can say, well, we can't do this, therefore it's no good. Or you can say we can adapt to this new reality, and whatever activities we perform there, we just have to arrange differently. We have to go in there with a different mindset. Now here's an example of a few of the systems that exist. So Hyperledger Fabric is one. That's basically something that has been developed by IBM. So it's a set of tools that allow you to set up your own private network, a blockchain network. It's extremely flexible and it's extremely difficult to use, let's say. There's the Quorum. Quorum is something developed by JP Morgan. It now belongs to Consensus, which actually belongs to JP Morgan, but let's skip over that. It's essentially built on Ethereum. And then there's Corda. Corda has developed R3, or rather R3 has developed Corda. So this is a blockchain which has been developed by the financial industry as a whole. Now, finally, there's Libra, which is something I'm going to talk about later. This is a blockchain, a private blockchain, which has been developed by the Libra Foundation, which has been funded by Facebook and founded by Facebook. So let's have a quick list of the features of public and private blockchains. Public blockchains are open to anyone. The past cannot be changed. That's a good or bad, depending on what you see. No one can be excluded. There's high visibility of transactions, so essentially it's publicly visible in a pseudo-anonymous manner. And there's an open access ecosystem, so anybody can build on it. It goes actually further, because if you build something on Ethereum in a smart contract way that lives on the smart contracting platform, it lives there forever. So it's not like a regulator can go out and switch off a particular algorithm or a specific smart contract. It's just there. Now the governance, however, is really slow because it requires consensus of all network participants. That's really difficult to obtain. And privacy is possible only when you pay a particular cost. Now, privacy is possible, but it comes at a cost. Private blockchains have joint control and governance. That's advantages and disadvantages, right? So anything that has to be done by committee, you will learn sooner or later in your life, is hard. The tech support is there, right? Because usually the entity that provides the technology for the platform has a phone number that you can deal with. There's a straightforward KYC and AML, so because you control who can access it. The transaction secrecy is also much simpler to obtain. And you can rely on some form of corporate development. You don't have to rely on a set of people who do this, with some unknown incentives, let's say, or essentially often have to do it for free just because they're idealists. Often university researchers are involved there too. Now, compliance with law can be obtained, right? Because that's the way how you set it up, and and that's also nice. You can keep the competition out. So, there's advantages and disadvantages. It allows you, certainly private systems allow you to keep your place, although it will change the competitive landscape, in particular the IO of the market.